Hello there. The inter-county season ends today and we aim to finish on a high. We've got 3 trophies up for grabs, the Mills, McGrath and O'Duffy Cups. And the day concludes with Cork chasing history and a 3 in a row. Just one team stands in their way, however. Their biggest rivals, Galway. And it's the Premier Junior final to get us underway. Armagh are no stranger to this decider, but it hasn't always been a happy hunting ground. They've only won twice in their 8 appearances, but this is their 4th decider this decade. They're not lacking in experience. Laois, no heartbreak here as well, having lost last year's final to Tipperary in injury time, but they arrive here rejuvenated and in red hot form, having netted 17 goals in 5 championship games. One thing's for sure, there won't be much between the teams at the end of business, certainly not according to the form book anyway. Yes, indeed, it's the Premier Junior final that gets us started this afternoon. Laois versus Armagh here at headquarters, and throw-in comes very, very shortly. And then it's the Tier 2 decider. Offaly take on Kerry in the intermediate final. That one gets underway at 3 o'clock. And last, but certainly not least, it's the hugely anticipated senior final. Cork looking to cement their status as one of the all-time greats. Galway hoping to avenge last year's final disappointment. And that one throws in at 5:15. Yeah, it's great to have you with us on a day that celebrates all that's good about Camogie, with the top teams in the championship now fighting for ultimate honours, and we've got a stellar panel lined up as well. Ursula Jacob, Anna Geary and Anne-Marie Hayes are all with us. Ladies, you're very welcome.
Thanks, Damien.
Anna, I'll start with you. Apart from a Cork win, what are you hoping for today?
Yeah, clearly I'm remaining very neutral. I knew she'd wear the maroon you see over there, so I had to go
and I'm obviously going with Laois.
Yeah, unknown roots.
You know what, Damien, the main thing for me, I'm looking at the clouds. I hope the weather holds up, because it's very hard, I suppose, to have quality produced in 60 minutes if it's raining and if it's miserable. But we've 6 counties here, 3 different All-Ireland finals. I'm hoping that the crowds will be packing in as the matches go on as well. It's a wonderful occasion for all 6 counties. Like you mentioned there in your opener, there's so many reasons, so many motivators for people to be here in All-Ireland final day. And I think up until now, maybe All-Ireland finals in other codes haven't been the thrillers we've hoped them to be. So I'm hoping we'll have 3 thrillers here today, and that, again, Cork 3 in a row, so just to throw it in there.
Ursula, is that your wish as well, that we got 3 evenly matched finals today? Because on paper, it certainly looks like it might work out that way.
Yeah, without a doubt, I follow these teams very closely throughout the year, and the junior teams, Laois and Armagh, they're fully deserving of being here. Laois obviously are back after last year's final defeat to Tipperary, and Armagh, a PJ O'Mullen in charge this year. He's made it a serious manager. He's achieved a huge amount with Derry Camogie and Lochiel and that as well. So the junior final, we're in for a cracker. Intermediate, I think the standard is really, really high. We've seen Offaly with how they've done throughout the league, and obviously Kerry are that team that you're thrilled to see back in Croke Park, because any time they seem to come here, they bring a huge amount of success as well. And then obviously the final, it's the one we've been waiting for since this time last year, and if we get anything like we did 12 months ago, we're in for a real treat.
The excitement, Damien, today I think as well for children. The Camogie All-Ireland is always a special day for kids because it's less busier than the Hurling All-Ireland. You can bring the buses.
You can get the tickets.
Yes, exactly. You can see already, Damien, spotted around the stadium, there's groups of kids and children, and the noise levels get very high on Camogie All-Ireland Day, but I think that's a really special part. My own kids are coming up today, and the excitement, just to see the excitement on their faces coming up, and there's going to be a huge amount of children here today and looking out and at brilliant ambassadors. 6 different teams, we'll have 6 different counties represented. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's important to see the role models out here as well, Anna, because for every kid in the stand, and there's lots of them, trying to emulate these girls in a few years' time.
Yeah, and all 3 of us were ones in the stands looking out at our teams, winning All-Irelands, losing All-Irelands, but just being here. I can still remember going up on the train with my club Milford, and it was such a special day. The flask of tea and the ham sandwiches packed, but it was a great day out, and you were motivated, you were inspired, and these were the days then that you drew back on when you were in the throes of winter training with your own county teams. So it is really important to see it, and I think that's why really there's been that focus on getting people to Croke Park, because like the tagline says, nothing beats being there. So watching it is great, but actually being here and witnessing the energy is something extra.
And the players themselves probably don't realise now when they're currently playing that they're actually massive ambassadors, role models for the younger kids, and getting to see them live on the television or, out here today, if you're lucky enough to be in Croke Park, it's going to be brilliant for those, young kids to see for the future.
And Anne-Marie, the game itself has gone physical. It's improving as a spectacle. The under-23 series was a good idea this year as well. The intermediate competition has been levelled out by the likes of Kerry and Offaly being able to get to that level. So I know it's been controversy this year, but it's been progress on other fronts as well.
Yeah, and I think Kerry and Offaly are here by merit, and last year they lost out at semi-final stage to Cork, the eventual winners, and Kilkenny, who were in the final as well. So they deserve to be here. I think Offaly are on a high at the moment, coming in here today, and there's massive growth in Camogie and Kerry as well.
Yeah.
There's not just clubs in the north of Kerry now, there are clubs popping up in the south
Not
of Kerry.
just Clanmorris.
Exactly.
Okay, time now to zone in on the first game at hand. Let's get all the team news from a match commentator, Colin Mullaney.
Damien, thank you very much indeed. Let's take a check on the teams then. There's one change to the Armagh team from their semi-final win over Roscommon, with Megan O'Callaghan returning to the team after being dismissed in the group phase match against Laois. O'Callaghan starts at wing forward, and the key line for Armagh is that full forward line, which has been particularly potent this season. Sinead Quinn is the leading scorer in the championship, with all but 1 point of her 925 total to date coming from play. Laois line out with 14 of the 15 players that started their semi-final win over Wicklow, with the one change coming at midfield, where Leon C. Fennell comes in and Linda Keys moves to the bench. Otherwise, it's as you were for Laois, with last year's Player of the Year Clodagh Tynan captaining the side from centre half back and Amy Collier leading the line from full forward. So that's how both teams will line out.
Good man, Carl. Thank you very much for that. Ursula, from a Laois point of view, heartbreak for them last year, beaten at the Gallop by Tipperary. It's a rejuvenated team, but there's still a lot of that side back. What are you expecting from Laois and the challenge that Armagh present this afternoon?
Yeah, I think with Laois, I'd be expecting that they'll settle that little bit quicker this year after having the experience of playing here last year. I also think there's a huge goal threat in that Laois attack. I think they're going to go for it today. They got 5 against Armagh in the group stages, and I think they're going to go all out again for the goals. And they're very ruthless with that full forward line of Amy Collier, Susie Delaney and Emer Hassett. Like, they've got 12-43 between them in this year's championship. They're lethal if they're given the ball into them in a fast, quick way.
They will have learned a lot from last year's final as well, Damien. They went out in last year's final. They were streets ahead of Tipperary for long parts of it, and just before half time they missed about 1-4.
Yeah, they were quite
and
wasteful.
That's something that they've mentioned, that they've worked on their scoring and their shooting this year, and that's obviously evidence in their scoring.
And like in 2024, they got to 3 finals and they lost them: the League, the Leinster and the All-Ireland. Whereas this year they've rectified that. They're going in as League champions, beat Roscommon, who ultimately then got beaten in the semi-final by Armagh. And I think, like what Anne-Marie said, you can't underestimate when you lose a final, especially when it was in their control. I mean, if Jenny Grace hadn't put that free over for Tip in the 5th minute of injury time, the Laois would be the reigning champions. So that's the margin of error. So if they can be clinical in front of goals, and I mean, like Ursula said, they have drawn up massive scores. Even if they tweaked that, that could be a difference.
Get them over the line.
But
Armagh full forward line though.
Yeah, I was going to say they're equally as good.
They're equally as good.
So who to watch out for then from the
Look,
Armagh
I think
side?
Rachel Merry inside. She's been a top class shooter all year. She's their free taker. She scored 10 points in the semi-final. She scored 2 from play, 37 points in the championship so far. If Laois are silly enough to foul her, she'll score them, Damien. So they'll have to be very, very careful with where they give their frees away.
And it's really interesting that all 3 of the Armagh full forward line are all inside the top 10 scorers for the championship. So the fact that all of them are capable of hitting high scores means that full back line for Laois will be under pressure.
So Ursula, apart from maybe converting scores at one end, Laois are going to have to pay attention to their own defence, aren't they, and trying to keep that full forward line at bay.
Yeah, and Laois, Clodagh Tynan there at centre back, she's the captain, she's the leader in defence, and she's very strong and powerful going forward, but equally comfortable along that half back line, and they'll need a big performance from her today. But I do think the learnings from last year will maybe pip Laois over the line today.
Anne-Marie, would you go along with that? Because you've got probably a nervous enough Armagh team, a lot of young players. They've had heartbreak here before, but they've got more or less a serial winner in their manager, PG O'Mullen. So where does the balance lie there?
And he's going to bring a huge amount to it. And I think though, Damien, sometimes when you get to an All-Ireland final, the youth can be mighty too.
Yeah.
And you can often see teams that don't have experience will show up on the day and they'll play unbelievably well.
And you play with that kind of freedom rather than fear. When you're a young one at 19, 20 years of age, you don't mind, you thrive in that open space. Like, I was looking at their panel, Armagh, 19 of them have never played in Croke Park. It is a different experience. You can get a little bit overwhelmed and the game can bypass you. So I think whoever settles quicker, it'll be definitely
And
a positive.
Susie Delaney in that regard, then she'll settle Laois down pretty quickly. I would
Yeah,
imagine.
she is. I mean, like, she's corner forward. But I think what's great today is there's so many different connections to history. So, like, Susie Delaney's aunt is the one and only Javita Delaney that played in goals at Tip, that's being honoured today with that Tip team.
2000.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember making my debut against that Tip team, and let me tell you, like, you're talking about physicality in the game now. There's physicality back in the game then too. Extraordinary generational players. So to have that connection, I'm sure Javita's been giving her tips as well about big days like today, and it's just wonderful to see those connections happening on All-Ireland final day.
For both of these teams, how important is an early start here, Anne-Marie? Like, it just settles everybody down.
Yeah, it is. But Laois started early last year, Damien, and they didn't, grow from that. And Tip came back into it in the second half. So I think in a couple of games this year, we've seen the third quarter has actually been really, really vital. The third quarter in the All-Ireland Senior Final last year,
True.
the third quarter, Waterford v Cork was so important. So after half time is a vital time as well for teams to come out and get a score quickly and to settle, not just at the start of the game, but after half time too.
Ursula, Brian Malloy, the Camogie president, is there greeting the match officials and the panellists as well. As a player then, can you have doubts in your head at this period of time, just before the throw-in? Or is all the hard work kind of half undermined by the psychology of this?
Yeah, the mindset is a big one, especially on All Ireland final day. As I said, playing in Croke Park is a different experience than anywhere else. The dimensions, everything seems that little bit bigger. I'd always say to a younger player, don't let the game bypass you. Get a touch in, get a block in, get the first ball. That'd be my big thing for any young player, is win that first ball, and you'd be surprised how much that can drive you on. But there will be nerves. Nerves are a good thing as well.
Yeah.
It just shows how much you care. But all the hard work is done at this stage. It's about going out and expressing yourself in the best
It's like if
possible
you're
way.
planning a wedding and all the stress leading up to it. But then on the day it's done, you have to try and enjoy it. And like, I know, Ursula, I heard you talking about it before, but enjoying the day. I embrace the occasion, the meeting of the president, the walking around, just because you don't know if you'll ever be here again.
Yeah.
And like, I was actually different to Ursula in that I never worried about the first ball and winning it, because if you don't, then it can put you on the back foot. I was like, how will I react if I lose the first ball? So then if I do, I'm like, oh look, I've already planned for this.
Right.
So coming up with those scenarios as well in your head, because not everything is going to go according to plan on All-Ireland final day for you. Sometimes you have to work yourself into the game.
Anne-Marie, what was your mindset for big games then? Like, you had lots of them.
I was the one who was blazing the ball off the wall inside the dressing room.
driving everybody mad.
Getting as many hits as I could into hand.
She's the person I avoided in the
I was going
dressing
to say,
room.
nobody wants to sit
Funny,
beside her.
I hear that quite a lot actually.
And the Tiger Balm, I think everyone will remember me from the smell of Tiger Balm.
Right, final prediction time. So Anna, off you go.
I just think the hurt of last year, Laois being so close to taking home the cup, I think, and the fact that they're league champions, I'm tipping them.
Okay, Ursula.
Well, look, I'm wearing the blue and the
Yeah.
white, so it'd be terrible to go against them. But I just think there's something different with Laois this year. Their strength and conditioning, their fitness, everything is that little bit more sharp this year. So I'm tipping Laois.
Okay, two for Laois,
I
Anne-Marie.
think Armagh will rattle their cage, Damien. I think it'll be tight, but I do think that Laois will shade it as well. Experience.
Okay, all aboard for Laois from our panel. The scene is set. Let's head back up to our commentators now. Aoife Sheehan is alongside Cathal.
Damien, thank you very much. Almost set to go now for this Premier Junior final. The team's just going through their final bits of the warm-up before the ball is thrown in. Promises to be a very close match, this one. These sides know each other well as they look to climb the steps of the Hogan stand this afternoon and claim the silverware on offer for this year's championship. Aoife alongside me for this one. First, let's get a look at our match referee. That's Enda Loughnane from Galway, from the Oranmore Club. He'll take charge of this afternoon's game. Aoife, these sides, as I say, know each other well. There's been a couple of close encounters between them, not least last year in the league final. What are you expecting today?
Yeah, and that was only a point, Cathal, and I think that maybe they met earlier on in the championship stages, and Laois put 5 goals past Armagh. We mightn't see 5 goals going past them today, but both teams, as the girls said on the panel there, they love getting goals, and it's a feature of, I think, the Laois side this year, that they know that they want to get goals and get the scoring that they left behind, especially I think in that game last year in the junior final. But I think Armagh, they're a very physical side, they're very tough, they love getting the ball into Creena Doyle. Watch that in the semi-final especially. So look, I think we'll have a great game here.
Let's hope so. The scene is set. Armagh won the toss. They'll play from right to left in this opening half, attacking the Hill 16 goal here at Croke Park on All-Ireland final day in Camogie for 2025. Enda Loughnane just setting the watch, and away we go in this Premier Junior final. Laois in that all blue jersey, playing from left to right in this first half. They've got the early possession too, but good work on the part of Armagh's Grace Gaffney to win it back. Now Laois managed to get control of it in the middle and played away by Kayleigh O'Keefe. Defensive work then for Michelle McCone to undertake, and cleared away then by Maeve O'Hare from Ballymacnab all the way down there. Some defending to do for Laois here in the early stages, and it's dealt with comfortably by Clodagh Tynan, the team captain. Belts that one clear. No real wind to speak of here at Croke Park. The conditions pretty much ideal for Camogie as Kirsten Keenan drives it into that full forward line. There might be something on here for Laois. Good turn initially from Susie Delaney, and now a ball over the top. Maybe a shooting opportunity here. There might be more than that. Gráinne Delaney's inside. What a start! A goal inside the opening minute from Gráinne Delaney. And Laois hit the back of the net.
What a goal by Gráinne. She was lovely and composed. She could have taken her bite, but no, she took it on, worked hard in, and a super goal to the top corner. Excellent start for Laois.
Gráinne Delaney, once she got inside, there was no doubt she was going for goal, and buries it to the back of the net. It's a dream start for Laois. They got 5 goals against Armagh in the group phase match between the sides. They've already got 1 here. Now what can Armagh muster in response? Well, they've coughed up possession again. Clodagh Tynan, who started off that move way back in her own full back line, has 1 possession back here again.
And she's an excellent centre back. She was the Players' Player of the Year last year, Cathal. You know, she's super there, and as you said, she started off that move that led to that goal by Gráinne.
24 years of age, Clodagh Tynan, and takes this free now all the way down to that full forward line again. Batted away well by Gemma McCann, the Armagh full back. Referee allowing play develop here. Trying to win it is Grace Gaffney for Armagh, but Laois crowding the bodies in around. They've put a big emphasis, Laois, on strength and conditioning this year. Spent a lot of time on it earlier on in the year, according to their joint managers Pat Collier and Rob Jones. This ball into the full forward line again, and they may be in behind again here, Laois. It might just open up another chance. This time it's blocked and out behind for a 45. The shot came from Amy Collier.
Yeah, and I think Amy fancied a chance at goal there. She was going low, but great defending. You know, snuffed that one out for 45, I think.
Well, it looks like it might have been
maybe a clash ball wide, yeah.
Yeah, they've decided to give a wide ball for that one, so it led off for Armagh. Good puck out. Finds Michelle McCone in space. Down to the corner forward, Karina Doyle, who scored 115 in the championship so far, but loses out this time. Good defending from Laura Finlay. That'll be an interesting battle in that Laois full back line so far. Good tackle then on Ciara Hill as she tried to get the shot away, the Armagh captain. Look at the tackling from Laois here in the early stages. It's been superb. Leah C. Fennell then clears it away.
Good to see her back as well, Carl. She missed a share of the championship through injury, so back in midfield today to steady the ship a little bit for Laois.
Ball back into play. Challenge came in from Sarah Cray, but that's an illegal one, says Enda Loughnane. It'll be a free for Armagh. There's the Armagh manager, PG O'Mullen, vastly experienced. He'll be hoping his team can bounce back from the concession of that early goal. And the free to be taken now by Emer Hayes. Again, Laois defending well. They've got plenty of bodies back there, and Ellen Conroy carries out some good defensive work. Sarah Cray now has the time to pick a ball down. This one just about making its way inside the 45 and doing really well to get there is Susie Delaney. Holds off a couple of challenges, then again trying to play it in over the top. Well gathered by Emer Hassett. Good interplay from Laois, and that's a fine point. It's their first of the afternoon. It opens up a 4-point gap after almost 5 minutes.
Oh, they're very similar in stature, but what a ball by Susie Delaney into Emer Hassett, into her path, and a super score, super finish.
It's 1-7 for Emer Hassett now in the championship as Armagh tried to get things moving quickly, but Laois just sweeping up that loose ball. They're coming here on a mission, having lost out so narrowly last year in that final to Tipperary. Laois, and determined not to allow that happen this time around. Line ball to be taken by Ciara Hill. Good work from Alice Walsh. Just drops the ball at the crucial moment, and Armagh close in to try and win it back. 3 Armagh players around the ball now, but still Laois will try and bring it clear. That was Liam C. Fennell out for a line ball. Ciara Hill, the captain, who missed the final back in 2022 due to injury. That's a good ball out as far as the corner forward Rachel Merry. The first time we've really seen her close to possession, but it's tidied up nicely by Clodagh Tynan. The Laois captain has made a very good start at full back, at centre half back. He's been back in the full back line as well.
Yeah, good pick up again by Clodagh. She just has to watch out a little bit down here. We have Emer Hayes up from Armagh. She seems to be loose around their half back line, so I suppose that's why the ball has been sprayed tightly to the sideline, just trying to avoid Emer.
Down towards Megan O'Callaghan, back into the team today. Loses out this time. Laois cleared away again. Trying to control it. There's Gráinne Delaney in there, but Armagh have it back. And now maybe some space to work in the middle. This is Ciara Hill driving forward again. Superb defending on the part of Laois. This time it's the cornerback Fiona Scully doing really well. And now they clear it down into that full forward line again. There is an extra Armagh defender back there. Let's see, can they defend this particular situation? Good work from Gemma McCann down in the corner. Sends it downfield and out for another line ball.
Good defending by Armagh there. Amy Collier, you have to be alert to her. You know, she's very lively. She can pick scores off at will from any side of the field. So very good defending by Gemma McCann.
And Amy Collier has 8.27 in the championship so far. Sinead Quinn, then the Armagh full forward, has 9.25, so she's the top scorer by just a point.
And they're scoring in the lead up to here, Carl. You know, it's very similar, I think, for both teams, isn't it? I think Armagh might have 19 goals got and Laois have 17, so just, you know, very similar teams.
Yeah, very little between the sides you would expect today, as Armagh try and bring that one forward. They've got a free in the middle of the field. They'd love a score, wouldn't they, just to settle down?
Yeah, just to settle them now. We're hitting nearly 10 minutes at this stage, you know, so but even their full forward line haven't seen too much action, I suppose, yet, and that's, I suppose, to the testament of the Laois defending. You know, they've been excellent so far.
Free to be taken by Ciara Hill. Good connection on that one, all the way down there. And it's just out behind for the first wide for Armagh.
Yeah, Sinead will be, I suppose, a little bit disappointed she didn't maybe bat that down in front for her, just try and keep it in play.
So still Armagh searching for that first score of the afternoon. They have got possession in the middle again, though. Maeve Hare came onto that one nicely, tries to help that one away, and does, as far as the centre forward, Katie Convey, down as far as Rachel Merry now, and that is a free just inside the 45. This will be a good chance to get off the mark. Merry, one of the danger players up front.
Yeah, strong defending there by Ellen Conroy, but deemed illegal, so Rachel standing over it. An excellent free taker as well, it has to be said. Cahill, you know, she can score by any angle around the forwards.
Yeah, 37 points already in this campaign, Rachel Merry, and looking to add another here. That one is over the bar, so Armagh get their first point. It's come in the 9th minute, and it brings them back to within 3, 1-1 to a single point.
That'll settle them down a bit as well, Cahill, you know, just to get on the scoreboard and now just kind of get into a little bit more.
Merry actually scored a free in injury time to win the league final between these sides last year. 14 points to 2-7, Armagh's victory on that occasion. They endured a tough league campaign this year, though, relegated back down from Division 2. As the ball over towards the Cusack stand side of the field, well gathered again by Clodagh Tynan. She's read every ball brilliantly so far. Megan O'Callaghan now has it back for Armagh. Forward it went towards Sinead Quinn under real pressure. Look at that, 4 defenders in around her, but Quinn has done brilliantly well to play it into space, and now maybe in around the back. It might open up here for a goal. Still Quinn. It's still there for Armagh. Body still flooding back for Laois, and eventually they clear it away through Sarah Cray. Well, that's an indication of the danger posed by Sinead Quinn. There were plenty of Laois jerseys around her. Still Armagh have possession. Racing away, Karina Doyle. They'd love a score here. Doyle sending it in towards the post, but that's out to the right and wide.
Oh, they'll just be disappointed they didn't get something from that call, but what a little flick from Aideen Lowry, I think it was at the very end of it. The goalie came out, you know, there was 4 running after Sinead Quinn. We see here just a flick, they just got it out of her path, and again maybe they got in each other's way a little bit, but excellent defending from Laois to snuff that out there.
Away we go again now with the puck out, but that was a great take in the middle by Kaylee O'Keefe to bring Laois away now, and plenty of space in front of her as well. Opts to play the ball into that full forward line. It's with Amy Collier, 2 defenders for company, and Armagh this time with the good defensive work. They've managed to win the ball back. Ciara Hill clears it away into the path of her corner forward. Karina Doyle moves it on quickly. Much better from Armagh now. That point has settled them down. Megan O'Callaghan, difficult enough angle here, and it's another wide for them. That's their 3rd of the afternoon.
Yeah, I think they need to settle a little bit in Armagh just to kind of carry the ball a little bit more. Maybe Megan go, you know, maybe make the angle a little bit nicer for her. And the other end then, Amy Collier maybe should have taken her shot a little bit earlier, besides, you know, trying to hit it over the player's head, and she was going in with it.
Ball down the field again. Michelle McComb doing well. Down towards O'Callaghan. There's been a lot of good stuff happening for Armagh down that right-hand flank in the last few minutes. O'Callaghan has been to the fore. Manages to get the ball down towards that full forward line again. And Armagh have it. This is Rachel Merry who wins the free. Got the shot away in any case. I think it went over the bar too, but she will have the chance from the free.
Good work by Rachel again. I think Clodagh Tynan, in fairness, is in the right place at the right time, but she collided with maybe, I think it was Fiona Scully at that stage, just when she was about to clear the ball. But Rachel Murray doing good work, and excellent work as well by Megan O'Callaghan down that right hand side, just carrying the ball and passing it across.
So a chance here for Mary now to add another point for Armagh. Remember, conceded that goal back in the first minute. At the angle facing the Armagh corner forward. And she makes no mistake from there. That's over the bar. 2 points for Rachel Merry, 2 for Armagh, and 2 between them.
Yeah, and great, good score by Rachel. You know, she made it as well. She got the free, but I suppose from Laois after their rapid start, you know, they haven't scored now again since the 4th minute.
There's the puck out stats so far. Laois winning 3 out of 5 thus far, but Armagh won this one. Down the line it goes. More good work from Fiona Scully, the corner back, picking up Rachel Merry so far, concedes the line ball. Laois coming into this match with a disappointing enough record in finals, not to mention the championship final last year. They've also come up short in league finals too, provincial finals, hoping that they can reverse that trend. But they did win the league this year. Ball played through, and a chance for another point. This is a first from play for Armagh, and it's come from Nia Forker. They've really grown into things now. We've got a 1-point game.
Yeah, Megan O'Callaghan got the advantage there. High hurley, she passed it out to Neve, and great score.
Puck out again for Aideen Lowry. Goes long, down to the opposition 65. Armagh doing much better now on the break ball around the middle. That's Michelle McCone helping it away. Down towards O'Callaghan once more. Ball moves inside, picked up by Gaffney. And this is Merry now on the spin here, this to level it up. The corner forward finds the range, brilliant from Rachel Merry. And we're all square in Croke Park midway through the opening half.
Yeah, and Armagh have settled, and they're getting on top for those puck outs. You know, they're winning the area around the middle third, and they have the target women inside. You know, Rachel Merry there, another super score from her after a pass in from Grace Gaffney.
That's 4 points without reply now for Armagh. Great response to the concession of that early goal, but Laois working the ball down the other end now, trying to pick that one up off the turf. Leah then C. Fennell forced down into the corner, tried to help it back towards Amy Collier. Armagh though alive to the danger, picked up by Nia Forker. And there you have it, 10 minutes since Laois last registered a score. I'd love to get one here. Ball sent in to the danger area here, defending to do for Armagh. They're equal to the task initially, but it's well gathered now by Laois and their corner forward Emer Hassett, and that'll be a free out. They've really got to grips back there, Armagh. Full back line doing well. Laois have it now again in the middle. Kaylee O'Keefe, space in front of her, has an extra player in the middle too. Instead angles it across the field of play. Plenty of Armagh body still in a defensive position. Squirts loose and Fennell picks it up just outside that 45-metre line. That'll be a free. Lucy Loughran was coming in to challenge Susie Delaney.
Yeah, Susie, great player, obviously. Even with UL, picked up in Ashburn this year and did well there just to win the ball. We see Amy Collier now standing over it, but I think Laois are taking some wrong options, Carl, at times. You know, they're hitting the ball into very congested areas and it's suiting Armagh down to the ground.
So there's a chance for Collier and finds the range with that one. Her first point of the match. And Laois move in front again. 1-2 to 4 points. Well, we expected it to be close, didn't we? And it's certainly turning out that way so far. Kiri Delvin clears it away towards Karina Doyle. Loses out this time. Nora Finley picks it up for Laois, and it's a little bit congested in the middle. Clodagh Tynan has a little bit of work to do, and Armagh have managed to prevent Laois from bringing that one clear. Merry has it. All very tight there, plenty of Laois bodies in a defensive position. Wonderful work from Sinead Quinn. Helps it back out. They have the advantage here. Shot is sent in any case. Plenty of height on this one. The referee does bring it back for the free eventually.
Super work again by the Armagh forwards. You know, I thought Laois had the numbers there. I thought Clodagh Tynan might have had it in her hand even at one stage, but they worked hard, stuck at it, and now they have a free in again.
So a chance to level things up again. Rachel Merry, 3 points for her, 2 from frees, 1 from play. This a chance to bring her side's tally to 5 points. And Rachel Merry makes no mistake from there. And we're level again.
So important to have a free taker you can rely on, like Carl, isn't it? I mean, another great score there from Rachel, and she's working hard as well in open play.
This puck out right on top of Ciara Hill. Gathered instead by Susie Delaney. Taking it on here first time. Good connection on that one, but it's out to the right and wide. 2 wides for Laois.
Just a little bit far out, I think, with the shot there. Susie, not that it's not within her range, but just the wind just took it then as it was dropping.
Well kept in play, initially at least by Ciara Hill, but eventually then crosses the line. Line ball for Laois. It'll be taken by Gráinne Delaney, the goal scorer.
Good work by Gráinne there, I suppose, to force the sideline as well. You know, along with Eden C. Fennell.
Laois coming into today's final off the back of a comprehensive win over Wicklow in the semi-finals. They scored 4 goals in that encounter as well. They've got themselves a free here.
Yeah, that was a big win for them, Carl, you know, and they kept them to just 3 points from, I think it was the first quarter. They didn't score after that, so the only problem with that then is, I suppose, are you tested enough coming in? You know, it's difficult, but listen, they're doing okay so far.
And there's a chance for Amy Collier to add another point to her personal tally. Struck that one really well. Will it creep inside the upright? The answer is no. So a let off for Armagh.
Just a few wides now that are just creeping up for them as well. It's their third, I think, from the first half.
Ball down into that full forward line again. Well, that one evades a couple of players. You could see the extra body there in front of the full back line. Sweeping in front was Emer Hayes. Laois have it now in the middle. Good work here from Kayleigh O'Keefe, straight down the centre. This one won't have the required distance, and Kiri Delvin has to deal with it back there, does really well. Helps it out as far as Alana McEntee, who completes the job and clears it away. Good ball down towards Niamh Forker, but couldn't quite gain control of it. Back into that full forward line again. It's well gathered there by Emer. Hassan!
Oh,
Just off the outside of the post and wide. That could so easily have ended up in the net.
she did well. It was 2-on-1 inside, you know, she got the ball here, took a little snapshot at it, and it could have got a deflection even, I'd say, as well, but a wide ball.
Yeah, just off the bottom of the post and wide. There was a chance, but it remains all square. 4 wides now for Laois. They've they've got the ball again in the middle. Inside of goals to the full forward line. There's the sweeper working to good effect. Emer Hayes alive to the danger. Clears it down into space. No one there in an Armagh jersey to take advantage though. Clodagh Tynan has all the time in the world here to pick a ball back down into opposition territory. Gemma McCann. This time, Megan O'Callaghan finds herself on this left-hand wing. Got past one challenge, has the advantage here, while Megan O'Callaghan is causing Laois all sorts of trouble here. And she's got her free.
Yeah, they're getting joy when they're running at Laois, and we saw Clodagh Tynan pick up a ball there, but Armagh are kind of trying to plug, I suppose, that gap between their half-back line and their front full back line. They don't want, you know, that inside threat of Susie Delaney, Amy Collier and Emer Hassett to get easy ball, and I can see that they have Emer Hayes now just sitting back in front, just trying to, you know, stop that danger.
Looks like both teams have extra players
in
their defensive units. Here's the free. Rachel Merry, brilliant. Again from the corner forward. 5 points for her. And Armagh move in front. Good puck out. Finds Alice Walsh in space, wastes little time and driving it down into the full forward line, and this one has spilled kindly too. Hassett was there, now it's found its way towards Collier. Back outside it comes, shooting chance here for Gráinne Delaney. Was under pressure as she struck that one, and it's another wide for Laois. You've got to give Armagh huge credit for the way they've responded to conceding that goal in the first minute.
Yeah, they've really tightened up at the back as well. You know, Laois players haven't got time to, you know, be kind of taking on shots. They have to hit them really fast, and with that we've seen Laois, I think it's about 5 wide so far.
Good defending again from Emer Hayes. And now cleared away by Michelle McCone. O'Callaghan has it again, has the head up here looking for a ball inside. Down it goes towards Sinead Quinn. Has the room here to shoot. Sinead Quinn looking after this one. Oh, great score. One of the scores of the game so far. Sinead Quinn with a fine point to open up a 2-point lead for Armagh in the 23rd minute.
Definitely is one of the scores of the day, and just she'd have still had a lot to do when she got it, but a great strike and you know, a nice settling score again for Armagh, put them 2 in front.
Heading towards half-time now, Armagh will be very pleased with the situation that they find themselves in. That's a wonderful take in the middle from Kayleigh O'Keefe, and she's away here, takes on the shot first time. Again, it's another wide for Laois, 6 in all now.
Yeah, she did all the hard work, and Kayleigh O'Keefe actually has been one of their star performers here in the first half. Just was disappointed with that finish, but look, a well-won puck out from Kayleigh. Maybe she just needs to carry it on a little bit more.
Laois last champions at this grade back in 2015. Armagh last won it in 2020. This ball into the full forward line again. This time some space maybe to get a shot away for Emer Hassett. 2 defenders closing her down. 3 defenders now closing in on Susie Delaney. Fine tackling from Armagh, forcing Laois backwards, but it's found its way towards Clodagh Tynan here. Has the room to shoot, and that's exactly what Laois needed. The captain providing some inspiration just at the right time.
Clodagh coming up from centre back to give a hand. She said, I'll stick it over. Super point from Clodagh, and she really is a brilliant player.
Laois's first point since the 16th minute, and it closes it down to a 1-point game here at Croke Park. Don't forget the intermediate and senior finals to come later on as part of this triple header. Ball down towards the Armagh forward unit, but well won by Laois, and spinning away from the challenge here is Susie Delaney. Can they level things up here? Shooting chance for Kristen Keenan from Camross, but that one all the way through to Kiri Devlin. Helps it away then to Emer Hayes. More good defending from Armagh. Ball down then towards Rachel Merry, who was away for just a moment from Fiona Scully, but Laois retrieved the situation. Leah C. Fennell now in the middle. Needs some support and finds it. Referee allowing play continue. Plenty of challenges coming in. Laois get the ball away. Again, that's right down on top of Emer Hayes back there. Helps that one away to her centre half back, Alana McEntee. Ball there to be won. Laois gather it through Gráinne Delaney. out into space. Racing after it, Emer Hassett from St. Bridget's, but the referee has spotted a free in there, and it'll be a free for Laois. Chance to level things up here.
Yeah, well done by Emer Hassett again, raced over to the sideline. Might have been a cute forward free, maybe one, but we can see Amy Collier coming out here now to take this difficult enough angle, but Amy's well capable.
The vice-captain of this Laois team, Amy Collier. They have amassed quite a bit of experience in the last few years. And now a chance here to level things up with just over 4 minutes to go to half-time in Croke Park. Collier driving this one in and over the bar, so we're level for the third time.
Well, we knew it was going to be tight call, didn't we? You know, but it's been tit for tat now in the last while.
It certainly has. Very little to choose between the teams. Who can make a decisive move maybe before half-time? That's a free. Well won back there by Susie Delaney. Looks like Laois are ready to make a substitution. Lucy Conroy about to come in. We'll continue with this free first though, with Clodagh Tynan standing over it just underneath the Cusack stand. No real wind to speak of here. Drives this one in towards the goalmouth area. Oh, it's kept in almost by Amy Collier, but in the end out behind for a 7th wide of the first half now for Laois.
Yeah, and Laois will be disappointed with their setup there, I suppose, with their inside forward line, that they weren't, you know, alert to that. They know Clodagh Tynan's strike and how far she can hit it, and you know, they just let it, I suppose, go out there. Amy was probably unlucky it went out, but still they should have been, you know, in a little bit deeper to be aware of that.
So there's the Laois substitution. Kirsten Keenan making way, and Lucy Conroy, the player to come in here as we head towards half-time. Armagh win the break in the middle. Good work from Ciara Hill, racing away now, 3 players after her. It's still Hill right down the middle, takes on the shot at the end but didn't connect with it brilliantly, and it's well gathered by Aideen Lowry, who clears it away to that far side. Susie Delaney, favourite to win this one, gets there in front of Lucy Loughran, gets away from the challenge, then drives it in towards the one player inside in the full forward line. That's Emer Hassett, but again well read by Emer Hayes. This time Lucy Loughran does get her hands on possession, plays it back towards Niamh Forker, who hit a point earlier on, down towards Sinead Quinn now. Big collision there, and the referee has stopped play. Quinn, and it looks like the Laois player down as well.
I think it's Alana Tynan, is it? Yeah, Alana Tynan.
The midfielder.
Both of them kind of came together at the same time. It was a tough enough collision.
So we'll have a stoppage in play here, just to allow some attention to come in. Don't forget the game's coming up later on. Offaly against Kerry in the intermediate final at 3 o'clock, and then in the senior decider, Cork looking for 3 in a row against Galway. That one throws in at 5:15. And then you can catch all the action tonight on the Sunday game from 9:30 on RT2 and on the RTE player. A couple of subs maybe warming up as well for Armagh. It's been pretty breathless stuff, hasn't it, in this first half?
Yeah, and I think just from a Laois point of view, I suppose they've had the few wides. Maybe they're up on maybe about 6 wides at this stage, and I think they're taking the wrong options at times, Cathal. You know, they're hitting the ball in, they're looking at Emer Hayes, and there's, you know, she's sweeping up a lot of the ball that's coming in because she's playing back, and they have that +1 at the back. So it's just something that they need to be aware of, and I suppose to have a little bit more composure when on the ball, that they hold on to it a little bit more. But listen, it's been exciting so far. You know, that goal in the first couple of minutes, I suppose the big highlight from Grania Delaney as well. But both teams have enjoyed, I think, their areas of dominance and their periods of dominance within this first half.
Certainly have. Good to see both players back up on their feet, Alana Tynan and Sinead Quinn. They'll both be able to continue. That's the collision there. Both players going for the ball.
Good to see them both up on their feet again and ready to rock again for the rest of the half.
We're hearing we'll have 2 minutes of added time at the end of the 30. So a couple of minutes left to play. Can one of these sides edge in front before half-time? Ball down into that Laois forward line again, but Armagh really have grown into this match at the back. And they win possession back again, cleared down the field. Laois have it now again. Route 1 delivery. Down on top of Amy Collier. Under pressure from Gemma McCann. That's been a really good battle so far. And this time, McCann does brilliantly well to win it for her team. Armagh try and clear it away. Can't quite complete the job. This is the substitute, Lucy Conroy. Helps it as far as Gráinne Delaney. Scored the goal earlier on, and now she has a point as well. Brilliant from Gráinne Delaney, and Laois lead by 1.
Yeah, good work by Lucy Conroy and even Amy Collier as well, just to keep it in there. Super scored in by Gráinne Delaney to add her goal earlier on.
So Laois have a narrow advantage now. Just over a minute to go till the half-time whistle. Can Armagh bring themselves back onto level terms? Down towards Rachel Merry. She's had a great first half. Angled that ball across towards the other corner forward, Karina Doyle. Doesn't quite work out first time, but it might second time around. Armagh played away. Good ball as well, as far as Megan O'Callaghan, but fine defending from Clodagh Tynan. Down it goes to Emer Hassett, who's come out a little bit this time in this attack over as far as Lucy Conroy. Couldn't control it. And now Armagh looking to bring it clear. Lucy Loughran just caught in possession. But ferocious tackling in this first half from both teams. Evidence of that here again. Laois emerge with possession with Susie Delaney. Leah C. Fennell just lost her footing at the crucial moment, and Grace Gaffney will take full advantage. Clears it away for Armagh. The final few seconds of this opening half in the Premier Junior final. That's a free, and Armagh will have a chance to draw themselves level before the break.
Yeah, well done by Karina Doyle there to win the free. You know, and I think Armagh, they're playing, you know, really strong camogie here as well, you know, in terms of they're very physical, and they're winning some of those breaks. And I think, you know, the 50-50 balls on the ground.
PG O'Mullen, the Armagh manager, I hope his team can go in on level terms here with this free, to be taken again by Rachel Merry. 5 points already. Can she add another here? That one just about creeping inside the right hand upright. Over the bar it goes. Another point for Rachel Merry and Armagh. And we're level again for the 4th time. That looks like it will be the final action of this opening half, and indeed it is. So very little to choose between these sides in the Premier Junior final. The goal coming from Gráinne Delaney for Laois back in the first minute, but thereafter Armagh responding really, really well to grow into the match, and nothing to choose between the sides as the teams head for the dressing rooms at the break. It's all to play for in the second half, but the half-time score here at Croke Park: Armagh 8 points, Laois a goal and 5. We'll have analysis after the break.
Uh,
Well, this All-Ireland Junior final was just in its first moment when Grania Delaney from Camross went and shot to the right of Kiri Devlin at the Armagh goal, but Rachel Murray in the corner forward position is on fire. 6 points in the first half, and alongside her Sinead Quinn has brought the Armagh girls back to parity as well. Really entertaining first half. Armagh 8 points, Laois 1-5. Rachel Murray on fire, 6 points, but Grania Delaney's got 1-1. Plenty to watch out for too. And as regards then the key stats, well, one that stands out is 31 turnovers won by Armagh, but Laois not too far behind, 28, so the intensity is quite high. Anna Geary, what have you made of that? Entertaining first half, is maybe a half of two halves. How did you see it?
Yeah, look, Ursula and Anne-Marie are both going to talk about, I suppose, the big key moments, and obviously the first one, who wouldn't want to get a goal inside 60 seconds in All-Ireland final. But really, to be honest, it was, a dream start, but it was Armagh then after that. You mentioned the turnovers there from Armagh. They're getting great change from Laois's puck-outs, particularly in the first 20 minutes. The amount of turners they actually got from Laois possession, and like we mentioned earlier on about the wasteful chances that Laois had in last year's All-Ireland final, while they started really well and got that opening goal, they followed on with 7 wides, dropping the ball short. They haven't, I suppose, really, that's going to come down to as well, I suppose, what Armagh did, like Ursula's going to talk about in a second, to rectify that. I'm delighted that Armagh got that score there to level, because they are the better team to me in the second half overall, or in the first half.
And from the start of the game then, dream start for Grania Delaney, through on goal, buried it, lots of space, but then as the game went on, Armagh tightened up. Ursula, can you talk us through what happened?
Yeah, well, look, it was definitely the dream start, and it was what Laois wanted, and they seem to be going for it. They're threatening for the goal all the time, but I love this. Look at the off-the-ball movement and the timing of Grania's run. You know, she times it brilliantly, but look at Armagh will be so disappointed with the amount of space that they afforded Laois here, because we see here from the high behind, she's all the time in the world to run off the shoulder, and she does time her run brilliantly. She strikes it really, really hard as well, and Devlin has no chance. But look at how Armagh adjusted. They get the numbers back. Emer Hayes at wing back has moved into that kind of sweeper role, and they've crowded out Laois now in the full forward line, and they're not getting the same time and space on the ball, and that's why Armagh have come back into the game. Emer brilliantly wins a free here, and that's a huge reason why Armagh's defence are getting on top, and Laois don't have the same.
Wides then as well, because the tenacity, we were talking about the intensity in Armagh's tackling, which is putting Laois under that slight little bit of pressure, which is forcing them to make those wides.
We spoke though, Damien, beforehand that we thought Laois had learned from last year's final. They've scored 6 from 15 scoring chances. It's not enough really, and they're going to have to improve, and they're very, very lucky to be going in a draw match at half time, considering.
But they'll also be delighted that despite all the wides that they are going in at a draw at half time.
Will they not be concerned though, Anne-Marie, about how Armagh have tightened their grip in this game? They're up front with all their challenges. Full forward line is looking very, very well. Armagh had a great response to that early Laois start.
Yeah, they had, and I think it took them a while to settle, Damien. It took Armagh a couple of minutes to get into the game. I think their first score didn't come until the 9th minute, but I think that was early days nerves. You know, a couple of girls that were nervous getting on the ball, but when they settled, their work rate was absolutely brilliant. Megan O'Callaghan at wing forward, their ability to win the ball from the Laois puck out was excellent. They put pressure on. One of the ball went out for a sideline, the next thing was over the bar, and again the pressure they put on in the middle of the field, Grace Gaffney and Ciara Hill has been testing them, trying to run down the middle there. A brilliant point by Niamh Falker, and Sinead Quinn has been very, very strong at full forward as well. Just again, the ability coming down the middle. Clodagh Tynan has been solid, but they have got to grips with that. Rachel Murray there, she's small and slight, but she's very, very, very strong under the ball.
So Anna, there's a sweeper. Emer Hayes doing really well for Armagh. The Laois puck out is not working all the time. They've shot a number of wides. How can they get back into this game in the second half? They're not too far out of it, but what can do better?
The number one thing I'd be looking at from a management perspective is, yes, Armagh have scored 8 points, but 5 have come from frees. So if they can be a little bit more clinical, just step off the player, allow them to pick up the ball, don't rush in, don't put in the silly tackle, because otherwise Armagh would have only got 3 from play. So I think if Laois can even just be a little bit more composed and give away less frees, because Rachel Murray's on fire.
Okay, stay with us. We'll have all the second half of this intriguing junior final coming up after this break. Yeah, don't forget the intermediate final follows this match. David Sullivan's Offaly arrive fresh from league success. Having been crowned Division 2A champions, they've continued at great form during the championship. Only lost one match, that was to Antrim during the group stages. And Kerry are in the first ever All-Ireland intermediate final, all the more remarkable because they changed their manager during the league. John Madden is in the hot seat now. A 5-point win over Down in the semi-final secured their path to Croke Park. Many people have felt it would be Antrim and Down in the final, but instead Kerry and Offaly took their chance in the semi-finals. They deserve to be here. This game throws in at 3 o'clock. And following that, then the big one, Cork versus Galway, go to battle in the All-Ireland Senior Final at 5:15 p.m. And then, looking back, Jackie will be on the Sunday game tonight, looking back on all 3 games and taking a trip or two to the Winners' Hotel. That's 9:30 tonight here on RTE2. But for now, we focus on the second half of the junior final. Okay, Grant. Yeah, it's noisy in Croke Park. The intermediate final follows this match. David Sullivan's Offaly arrive fresh from league success, having been crowned Division 2A champions. In great form during the championship as well, only lost one match. That was to Antrim during the group stages. But Kerry are in a first ever intermediate final, all the more remarkable because they changed manager during the league. John Madden is in the hot seat now. A 5-point win over Down in the semi-final secured their path to Croke Park. Many people felt that it would be Antrim and Down in the final, but instead Kerry and Offaly took their chance in the semi-finals. They deserve to be here. That game throws in at 3 o'clock. Following that, the big one, Cork and Galway go to battle in the senior final at 5:15. And Jackie will be looking back on all 3 games and taking a trip or two to the Winners' Hotel, 9:30 p.m. tonight here on RTE2. But for now, we focus on the junior final and the second half coming up. And Anna, I suppose Laois will want to address the length of time maybe between their scores.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we were saying, that, you know, there is big, long gaps between Laois getting the scores. Now, the ball is getting down into that danger zone, but credit to Armagh, they're putting the intensity into their tackling. And I suppose forcing Laois, like I said, to make the wides, but definitely they have to be more consistent just to build momentum and keep those scores stacking on the scoreboard.
Ursula, before the game you spoke about the fearlessness of youth. Is that coming true here?
Yeah, I think so. I look at some of them here and I'm like, God almighty, they'd run all day, but I think that Laois do look really, really dangerous if they can get the right ball into that full forward line.
Have you changed your mind, Anne-Marie?
No, I think more from the Laois full forward line. Susie Delaney, Amy Collier, Emer Hassett, to get ball inside there. Those girls need to stand up now.
Yeah, no sign of the referee yet, so we'll keep chatting away. That's fine. He's probably taking a bit of an extended break. A good game, intriguing nonetheless, Ursula.
Without a doubt, we were kind of just saying off air that both sides will be happy in different ways about being level, so it's all to play for in the second half.
Okay, the referee and his team are out. Back to Aoife and Cahill in the commentary box.
Thank you, Damien. Almost set to go now for the second half. The referee, the Loughnandas, making his way back into his position. It'll be Laois playing from right to left in this second period, with nothing to choose between the sides at half-time. So that's the scene here at Croke Park. The crowd coming in all the time ahead of the games later on as well. On a big day for Camogie. Loughnane just making sure that everything is in order before the ball is thrown in for the second half. Doesn't look to be any changes at half-time. We did have one substitution in the first half when Lucy Conroy came in for Laois in place of Kirsten Keenan at centre half forward. And now it is time to go for the second half. Aoife, who was the happier team, do you think, heading in at half-time?
I think both will realise they've left a few scores out there, you know, particularly Laois, I suppose, with the wides they had. But I think both coming out. Look, it's game on again now, the second half.
All to play for as we get back underway in this Premier Junior All-Ireland final for 2025. Armagh playing the ball forward initially, down towards Rachel Merry, who had 6 points in that first half. Very solid from frees so far. This time in possession in open play. Sinead Quinn hit a point in the first half, looking to do likewise here, and she's got it. Perfect start for Armagh. They lead again.
Well worked score between the two in the full forward line. Rachel Merry, you know, she's been a thorn in the side for Laois into Sinead Quinn, and a great score.
Just what they would have wanted, Armagh, at the start of this second half. Puck out from Aileen Lowry down underneath the Hogan stand. Laois have managed to gather it. Good work there from Lucy Conroy. Helps that one forward. Out in front to win it this time was Michelle McCone, but Laois have it back again. Good defensive work once more, and that's out for a line ball. You can see the Armagh manager PJ O'Mullen just applauding the efforts of his players.
Yeah, Michelle McClone did well again there, you know, leading C. Fennell. Thought she had, I think, the ball kind of under control, but wasn't to be. Good turnover.
That one down towards Megan O'Callaghan, but Laois will pick it up through Alice Walsh. Plenty of space on the far side out in front of the corner forward. Emer Hassett out in front to win that one from Maeve O'Hare. Taking on the shot, will it have the distance? The answer is no. Well gathered by Kiri Devlin. Waste little time in clearing that one away. Again, Laois favourites to win this one. Well anticipated there by Clodagh Tynan. Holds off one challenge. The referee says that was okay. Play allowed, continue. Down it goes again. And well gathered by Karina Doyle. Now looking to race away. 3 defenders after her. But still, Karina Doyle retains possession. Brilliant from her. How about that for a score? One of the best we've seen this afternoon. Karina Doyle for Armagh.
Excellent. I suppose a big contrast there in the two sides. Karina Doyle took the ball on, kept going into her scoring range, hit it over the bar. Brilliant score from her. And I suppose Emer Hassett on the other side took a shot that was maybe a little bit outside her range, and a drop shot again for Laois, but a brilliant score by Karina Doyle.
That gives Armagh a 2-point advantage, which is significant in a game that has been this close all the way through. Well gathered this time again by Rachel Merry, and wins the free. So they've dominated the early exchanges here after half-time, Armagh. They have a chance here to move 3 points in front.
Yeah, and like just so assured at the free taking as well, isn't she? You know, just lovely strike, lovely style when she's doing it as well, but has been excellent from open play, you'd have to say as well, Carl, you know.
So here is Rachel Merry, that distinctive free taking style. And that one out to the right and wide this time.
That's my commentator curse on her there now, I think. One of her first ones, I think.
So 4th wide for Armagh. And Laois retain possession from the puck out. Down it goes. Good initial touch from the corner forward Susie Delaney, but Armagh will win it back in the middle. Finds its way towards Katie Convey, the centre half forward, who's back in the panel, had been studying in Wales in recent years, but back into the panel now. All very tight in the middle. Eventually it finds its way out towards Alana Tynan, who helps it away. Better from Laois now. There might be some space here to work in. Armagh still have that extra body back in defence, sitting in front of the full forward. Amy Collier just off camera. Meantime, an opportunity here maybe for Kaylee O'Keefe to win it back. Maeve O'Hare doing the defensive work for Armagh. And the referee has awarded the free to Laois. And this is an opportunity for them to get their first score of this second half.
Yeah, good work by Kaylee O'Keefe over there. She's working hard all day in the first half. And we see there, I think she could have got a free maybe a few seconds before it as well, but good work from her.
And this will be Amy Collier to take this one. 2 points from frees in the first half. Difficult enough angle here, but no problem for Collier. Over the bar it goes. And it brings us back to a 1-point game again. Pat Collier, the Laois manager, looking on. They came here very determined today to avenge last year's defeat to Tipperary. Good take from the puck out, and Armagh on the attack here again. Spinning away is Sinead Quinn. Plays that one in. Gathered by Aideen Lowry. Lots of pressure on Quinn as she took that shot. And Laois will clear it away. Plenty of distance on that clearance too, but it's down in front of the extra player back there, Emer Hayes. Read that one well and clears it down as far as Rachel Merry. That one eventually goes out for a line ball.
Yeah, Laois just have to be more alert to Emer Hayes back there. You know, she's sweeping all before her, I think, there, and really cutting out the ball that's getting into Susie Delaney and Emer Hassett. And Laois need the ball to get into there too, inside forwards, you know, to get scores.
Fiona Scully takes that line ball. It's gone straight to Megan O'Callaghan. And O'Callaghan, such a strong player when carrying the ball like that. Shot doesn't have the required distance, however, and Laois can bring it away. Space here for Sarah Cray to pick her target. Sends it down into space. Again, really good work from Emer Hayes to get there first, but then Amy Collier closes in, takes on the effort, was under a lot of pressure. And that one out for another wide.
Yeah, I think it's the 8th now. They'll rue that, you know, that they'll be, you know, those balls either dropping short or going wide, you know, just need to carry it a little bit near the target area.
So 1 point between the teams into the 37th minute now of Croke Park. Pat Collier and PG O'Mullen hoping that their respective teams can find their way up the steps of the Hogan stand in about half an hour's time. Not a long way to go. Loose ball in the middle, there to be won. Closing in on it was Katie Convey for Armagh. Lots of Laois players in there as well. One of them is Sarah Cray, the wing back. Shot coming in, good block down. Still there for Armagh. Nia Forker brings it away, plays it back as far as Grace Gaffney. She'll be disappointed with that one. Straight to Aideen Lowry. Loads of time here to pick her clearance. It's 2-on-2 over there on the far side. Anticipating the break well was Susie Delaney. And now some space to work in here for Kaylee O'Keefe. Better shot this time. Has it the accuracy? The answer is yes. And we're all square again. Fine score from Laois.
That was a great score from Kaylee O'Keefe, and I think she's been making inroads all day, you know, from that half forward line, and a lovely pass from Susie to Kaylee.
So Armagh had opened up a 2-point lead. Now we're level again for the 5th time. Well, Laois won the group phase match between the sides by 5-11 to 20 points, but that was a game in which Armagh played much of the game with 14 players after a first half red card for Megan O'Callaghan. So they'll know with a full complement they're going to be really competitive today, Armagh. That's how it has proven so far. As O'Keefe brings it away again under a lot of pressure along the sideline. Ciara Hill there for Armagh trying to win it back. Lucy Loughran there as well. Hill again. Drives it down, but again, the extra defender for Laois, Clodagh Tynan, reads it really well. Clears it down now on top of Amy Collier. And somehow has managed to get this. Collier is inside, it might open up here for a chance. Amy Collier for Laois. Still there for the full forward, tries to play it back out as far as Conroy.
Oh!
Over the bar in the end with the help of the crossbar. Could so easily have been a goal, but Laois move in front again.
Yeah, well done, Jamie Collier there, to where, you know, it was 2-on-1. She kept at it, she kept working it. It just spilled out of her hand, I think, as she was about to take the shot, but Lucy Conroy was supporting her, and great shot from her, but just hit the crossbar and over the bar.
That's 3 in a row for Laois now. They lead by a point. It's 20 minutes to play. Karina Doyle helps it down as far as Sinead Quinn, who's under a lot of pressure and harmlessly behind for a wide. Short puck out. Works well. Then down towards Leland C. Fennell, just a little bit too high. Out for a line ball.
Laois are just trying to play through the lines a little bit more in this half, I think, Cathal, you know, to counteract that. Emer Hayes kind of sweeping at the back, you know, they're trying to ensure they keep possession as opposed to keep giving it away.
Ian Forker drives into the challenge, but illegally so, says Enda Loughnane, our match referee, and the book is out here as well. Looks like there might be a card here. Challenge came in from Alice Walsh, and you could see what it meant to Laois as well to win that free. Every decision crucial now.
Yeah, so the onus on Niamh to go around the player. It's one of those contentious, I suppose, ones that are still in the rule book, Cathal, that a lot of people would like to get rid of.
And there is the confirmation of that yellow card for Niamh Forker. We're going to have a couple of substitutions here as well. Laois introducing Amy Daly, wearing number 19. And Armagh have a couple of subs ready to come in as well. So Emer McGeary and Fiona Loughlane coming in for Armagh. There's the Laois player making way. That's Emer Hassett.
Emer Hassett did well. I think she worked, you know, tirelessly up in the corner forward area there. I think they just need to inject a little bit more, I suppose, freshness into the forward line for the remainder of the game. She had a nice score in the first half.
So Fiona Loughlane and Emer McGeary, the players to come in for Armagh. Grace Gaffney, one of the players to come off for the Ulster County, and there's confirmation of the Laois substitution as well. Amy Daly in and Emer Hassett, the player to make way. Ball into the goal mouth area, dangerous one in there. Armagh, plenty of bodies back there, and they clear it away. Laois leading by a point as Clodagh Tynan spreads the play out to the far side. Gráinne Delaney, the goal scorer after this one, being pursued by Alana McEntee. Delaney does really well to help herself inside, taking on the shot. Doesn't quite have the accuracy this time.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed with that finish, but excellent vision from Clodagh Tynan to spot the space in front of her for her to run onto, but just turned on her left and just wide at that right-hand post.
This ball has found its way all the way through to Sinead Quinn, the full forward. Trying to get the room here to shoot, does, but off target again. You have to credit the Laois defending, was under a lot of pressure as she took on that shot, Sinead Quinn.
Yeah, pressure on her there, just taking that, you know, a lot of attention from the Laois backs.
There's the puck-out stats. Laois 10 out of 15, Armagh 11 out of 18 on their own puck-outs. Ball finds its way towards the Armagh corner forward, Karina Doyle. Hit that great point a couple of moments ago. Well gathered back there by Clodagh Tynan. Gets it away in time, and now Laois looking to counter-attack with Lucy Conroy. Almost had that goal a few minutes ago, but that's a loose pass. It's straight to Ciara Hill. Armagh looking to get themselves back on level terms. Can they manage it here through their captain? Straight into the arms of Aideen Lowry. Goalkeeper belts it clear again. And Laois will take possession through Kaylee O'Keefe. It's 2-on-3 back there. Oh, nicely flicked on. A little bit too much on the flick on, in fact. And Armagh will clear it away through Emer Hayes. Laois pushing right up. Good work from Gráinne Delaney. Big challenge coming in then on the substitute Amy Daly, who retains it well, then loses out, and Armagh will send it down the other end. Every possession crucial now. Just the 1 point between the teams. Lovely jink from Katie Convey between a couple of challenges. Ball into the goalmouth area and out behind for another wide.
Yeah, both teams have been wasteful, I think, you know, in the second half. Cathal, again, another ball just kind of dribbling wide there that, you know, had they looked at, you know, how they're hitting it in, or maybe hit it to the side of Sinead Quinn there, you know, would have been to better use.
And in a game so close like this as well, the wides tally becoming pretty important. It's 9 now for Laois, 7 for Armagh. This will be a line ball for Laois. to be taken by Gráinne Delaney. Well, Laois coming into this match spoke about the narrow margins in which they lost those finals over the last 12 months. They find themselves in the same position now, in a tight match with silverware on the line. They'll be hoping they can get over the line this time. But Armagh have possession. Megan O'Callaghan had a great first half, racing away here, has support off the shoulder as well from Karina Doyle right down the middle. This ball has almost squirted into the path of Katie Convey, but fine defending from Laois. Can they turn that into an attack now? Down the field it goes. Beautiful take on the part of Amy Collier, looking to find a pass. Doesn't quite manage it, but it's worked out. Gráinne Delaney picks it up now, wrapped up by a couple of challenges, and that will be a free for Laois, and a chance here to extend their advantage.
Yeah, great take at the start of that by Amy Collier, just to hold on to the super catch in the air, and her pass didn't quite get across. I think it was maybe Amy Daly that was running over looking for the pass, but you know, Gráinne did well there just to hold it, and a free in now for Laois at an important time.
So Laois will have the opportunity here. We're into the final quarter now. It's flown by. It's been competitive stuff. Armagh a point down, having started the second half so well. But there you can see Armagh haven't scored in 14 minutes. 7 minutes since Laois's last score.
Yeah, they've gone just a little bit flat maybe. I don't know. Clodagh Tynan has picked up a good few balls. Even Alana Tynan around the middle of the field has been working hard. And just a few that they've kind of had wrong options, I think, you know, hitting the ball in. They've gone, you know, aimlessly wide around Aideen Lowry there as well. So I suppose both teams guilty of a little bit of that. So I suppose that, you know, heading into the final quarter, the team that has the best use of possession, you know, you'd say, and just make the correct options. You know, we can see passes going astray here and there as well. So I suppose both teams are a little bit tense as well because it is so tight.
It's all on the line. Here's Amy Collier now with this free. Strikes that one well, and over it goes. Good accuracy from Amy Collier. Her fourth free of the afternoon, and that extends Laois's advantage to 2. 1-9 to 10. 13 minutes of normal time to play. We'll be collecting the K-Mills Cup on offer for the winners today. Laois in a good position right now, but Armagh will have something to say about that. Trying to get the ball out from this battle for possession. But Laois have managed to do it. Liad and C. Fennell doing really well. Cleared away. And this one almost spilling kindly for Kaylee O'Keefe. Someone very frantic down the middle. Someone trying to gain control of it. Emer Hayes in there. Amy Collier closing in now as well. Eventually Laois have it. And can they help it clear? Opportunity here perhaps for the substitute, Amy Daly, under lots of pressure. There's a player calling for it out on the far sideline. Instead Laois opt to stay down this left-hand side. Out it comes as far as Liad and C. Fennell. Her experience will be crucial over the coming minutes. Still Laois have it. Take on the shot. Got out to the right and wide. Susie Delaney was on possession. Can Armagh regain control, having started the second half so well? Sarah Cray sends that one across the field, was looking for the run of Kaylee O'Keefe. Instead, it's Michelle McCone, the Armagh wing back, doing really well. Gathered nicely by Lucy Conroy. Armagh then closing in to try and win it back, and they have. It squirts clear towards Megan O'Callaghan, met by the challenge of Laura Finlay. And Laois defending well again. Now, can they turn that into a score at the other end? They've had plenty of opportunities. Good ball down towards the run of the corner forward. Susie Delaney trying to round the challenge, has managed to do that. Sends it down to her full forward, Amy Collier, down in the corner, bringing it back outside. That's a good pass. Gráinne Delaney just has to retreat a little bit to collect it, but now racing clear of the first challenge. It's still Delaney down the middle, and it might open up here for a goal chance. This is a big moment. Back of the net from Amy Daly. Is that the score to help Laois to the title? It pushes them 5 points clear with 10 minutes to play.
Great goal from Amy Daly, what a finish, and composed enough play. I thought it was gone from them again when the pass went astray, but you know, she was found again. Amy went in and, you know, took her time. Super goal.
Well, that just opens up some daylight now. A fine finish from the substitute Amy Daly, and in a tight game such as this, up to this point, 5 points feels like a big margin with 10 minutes to go. Laois on the attack here again, racing after this one and gathering it brilliantly is Fennell. There's a player inside as well, if she can help it back. It's opening up for another goal. Daly is there again. Armagh retreating and trying to defend, and eventually they gather it through Kiri Devlin, their goalkeeper. It could so easily have been another goal. There might be a point at the end of it here for Laois, and they'll settle for that. Fine score from Gráinne Delaney.
Great score from Gráinne. She took her time, and a great point. Lucy was nearly in for a second one, call. I thought she was gone in, but you know, great defending by Armagh to keep them in the game.
6 points between the teams. 9 minutes to go. Laois making a decisive move, looking to win the ball here again. Collier is in there, so too Susie Delaney. Referee has indicated Armagh have advantage here. Ball cleared away. There's an Armagh player down off the ball as well. Play continuing as Armagh try and gain control of possession in the middle. Almost 20 minutes since Armagh last scored. Remember, they had a 2-point lead in the early stages of this second half, but Laois have taken control. Out for a line ball, a Laois line ball.
Niamh Faulker was just down there for a couple of minutes as well. She's back on her feet. But Laois have come alive in the last few minutes. Cathal, you know, is that the spark that has kind of ignited them a little bit? I think that Amy Daly goal
certainly has put them in a very good position here as they look to avenge last year's defeat to Tipperary at the same stage in this competition. They've played the ball forward, and it's 2-on-2 in there. It might open up here for another chance. Armagh defend the situation very well. Laois feel like they might have had a free there. Enda Loughnane ways play on. Armagh clear it down the field. They need a score just to get a foothold in this match again. But Laois defending has been superb. More evidence of that there from Sarah Cray. Really tidy play from the wing back and clears it downfield. Down as far as Delaney again, the corner forward, taking on the shot. Well, they can do little wrong right now, Laois. Susie Delaney with a brilliant score, pushing her team 7 points in front.
Excellent score from Susie Delaney. You know, she's the target woman in there along with Amy Collier at the moment, and you know, a well taken, well finished score from her.
Laois have defeated Delaney. The Tipperary team from 2000 will be honoured later on today as well here at Croke Park. Here's another Armagh substitution. Player to come in, Leisha McConnell, wearing number 20. Player to make way, Niamh Faulker, who was receiving some attention there. And Laois will make a substitution as well. Linda Keys, who has played earlier on in this competition in the starting team, coming in for Alice Walsh for the final few minutes.
Yeah, Laois got 1-6 without reply as well, Cathal, you know, so Armagh really need to get scores on the board.
Ball down to Rachel Merry. Can she get a score here for her team? The answer is no. Time now coming against Armagh here. 6 minutes of normal time left to play. Laois in a very good position. Can they see it out from here? They've got possession from the puck out. Well gathered by Alana Tynan. Armagh send it back into that full forward line. Sinead Quinn closed down, but illegally so. It'll be a free in. And a chance for Armagh to take a step in the right direction here.
Yeah, and Sinead has been excellent. In fairness, Cathal, you know, she's really driving at the defence. She's having a great battle with Ellen Conroy back there.
Rachel Merry now with this free. We'll waste little time as we head for the final 5 minutes in this Premier Junior final. Takes this one and finds the range. So it's a point, and it makes it a 6-point game. That's Armagh's first score since the 33rd minute. Hookout goes long from Aideen Lowry. There you can see these scoring chances for either team as ball played into that full forward line again. Armagh need every possession they can get right now, but the Laois defensive effort has been very good thus far. Armagh have possession. Megan O'Callaghan has the advantage here. Gets the hand pass away in any case. Sinead Quinn then, but the referee will sound the whistle for the free. And there will be another chance to get a point.
Yeah, Megan O'Callaghan on another one of her trademark runs, winning the free there.
Armagh just want the ball back here quickly so they can take this free. Rachel Merry again, trying to move things on quickly. Merry pops that one over the bar, so that makes it a 5-point gap now that Armagh need to make up over the next few minutes. Just less than 4 minutes of normal time to play.
You'd feel they need to get a goal in the next few minutes, Cathal.
It does look like that. Laois will try and retain possession from this puck out. It's a very good ball from Aideen Lowry straight to Sarah Cray, who picked up a good position along the sideline. Laois will feel another score or two might just do it. They've got possession in a good position here. Susie Delaney wins the free. Intelligent play from the corner forward. And this will eat into the clock as well.
Yeah, Susie Delaney, she's slight in stature, but she's very tough inside there. Won a great free there, won her own ball, and taking on her player each time.
Into the final 3 minutes of normal time. Amy Collier standing over this one. Can Laois negotiate these final minutes successfully?
Her dad, Pat, seems happy enough at the moment. Anyway, Banastor Biban.
Certainly does, sharing the managerial responsibilities with Rob Jones as this one goes in. The umpire's looking at that, and we're going to go to Hawkeye. So they will take a look at this one. Amy Collier has been very solid from frees so far.
And I think that one went over as well.
Yeah, they're just making sure, and that would seem to indicate that it will be taught. And a point for Laois. Re-establishes that 6-point margin again. It's going to be interesting to see what added time we have at the end, but it looks like Armagh will need a goal, maybe even two now. Megan O'Callaghan past one challenge, gets the hand pass inside as well. Emer Hayes closing in. Can Armagh find a way through? Rachel Merry has it, and the referee eventually sounds the whistle for a free, and it'll be a Laois free. It'll be a Laois free.
She caught it up and threw it again, I think, but she's a bit incensed because she feels she was fouled.
They're the things that you need to go your way, aren't they, when you're about to win a national title, and Laois look like they're on course to do that right now. It's been a very good second half display from them. Sides were level at the break. And Laois now on the attack again, looking to put the icing on the cake with Kaylee O'Keefe here, racing in towards goal. No doubt about that one, it's over the bar. Another score for Laois.
Super score from Kaylee. I think she's been excellent all through. That's her second one in this half, and just she's been driving at that Armagh defence all day long.
We're going to have 3 minutes, we're hearing, of additional time. Heading towards that now, into the final minute of the 60. Armagh take that free quickly, down towards Sinead Quinn. Again, Laois defending that one very, very well. Ball down in the corner. Clodagh Tynan trying to emerge with possession. Armagh closing in, working really hard, and they've won it back brilliantly. Then the ball launched into the goalmouth area, well gathered by Aideen Lowry underneath the crossbar and cleared away. Great take from Amy Collier. She's had a very good second half. Amy Collier helping it away, was looking for the run of Gráinne Delaney. Loose ball to be won in the middle, and it will be an Armagh free as we get confirmation of those 3 minutes added on.
Well won again by Ciara Hill there, Cahill.
Battle very hard around the middle. Ciara Hill all the way through. Long ball sent in here. Armagh need a goal from this. Oh, they almost got the ball through, but eventually out behind for another wide. Sinead Quinn was in there. We're going to have another Laois substitution. Coming in is Shona Jones for the final few moments, and she comes in place of Leithen C. Fennell.
I think the substitutes worked well as well for Laois today. I think Lucy Conroy worked hard. She was introduced in the first half, and then obviously Amy Daly with that goal, and just, you know, the work rate around the middle has been super from both of them so far. Laois probably got more joy as well when Emer Hayes pushed out of that holding defensive, that +1 at the back, you know, once they were able to run at Laois and they weren't meeting an extra defender, they got a lot more joy.
He certainly was very effective in that role in the first half. Armagh win the ball in the middle again, but Laois, as they have done all afternoon, closing in with the tackles, and they race away with it now. Gráinne Delaney got the goal all the way back in the first minute, remember. Shooting opportunity here, and a punch of the air as well. That one over the bar. And Laois racing to the finish line now. Amy Collier with a point from play. She's been very good from frees all day.
Great teamwork scored there as well, you know, Gráinne Delaney making the run and then passing it off to Amy to finish it off.
Fiona Doyle hits the challenge there of Fiona Scully, manages to retain possession, but we're in the final minute now of the 3 added on. Laois on the brink of a historic success here at Croke Park. That ball all the way down to the opposition 45. It's out for a line ball. Laois has spoken all year about trying to bounce back from the disappointment of last year. That's been on their mind all the way through, and they've almost completed the job now. The final few seconds of this year's Premier Junior final. Laois leading by 8 points. Armagh still battling hard to win the ball back, but Laois escape away from that cluster of players, and the referee will bring it back for the initial foul for a Laois free.
Yeah, good play again by Laois. You know, and just to mention that, like, they had huge disappointment last year. I remember them leaving the pitch even after Tipperary beat them with that, you know, last minute free and things like that. And they, you know, reading bits and pieces with Pat Collier during the week saying that they kind of promised they'd get back here, and look, they did. They got here with a new look panel, I think, as well. You know, they did a lot of movement in their panel. A lot of young players, I think, came into the breach as well, and look, they did very well here in the second half, I think, by kicking on.
Yeah, 11 of today's team started last year's final. There's the free sent in and over the bar again by Amy Collier, and what a finish this is turning into for Laois. 2-15 to 12 points. And there's the full-time whistle, and Laois have done it 12 months on from their disappointment of last year. And just look what it means to them to capture the Premier Junior Championship title. A thoroughly deserved victory built on an outstanding second half display. And Laois, the victors here at Croke Park by 2-15 to 12 points.
Yeah, look, great scenes, look, from Laois, like a heartbreaking for Armagh. Like, they played so much great camogie as well, but look, I suppose the day belongs to Laois. Amy Collier chipped in her, you know, 7 points. You have Susie Delaney and Emer Hassett, you know, chipped in a point as well from that full forward line. And what about Amy Daly's goal? I think, you know, when the game was still really in the melting pot, she, you know, stepped up, came on as a sub, and really had a great finish there. She hit the post, I think, as well, maybe earlier on in that, but just a really good performance from Laois. You know, they'll be delighted. They're going up to intermediate ranks now. next year. But after the heartbreak of last year, especially Cahill, I think they'll be delighted. Claudia Tynan as well at centre back was immense for them, I think.
What changed in the game, Aoife, for you, given how tight the first half was? It was level at half time.
I think even in the first few minutes after half time, it was still a little bit cagey. Both teams were kind of still maybe doing a little bit of shadow boxing, but I think Laois really ran at them from that third quarter, kind of midway through it, and they just got a lot of joy from it. Their passing was a little bit better as well, and they just played some really nice camogie in that. Armagh will be disappointed with some of their shot selection, I think, at the end of that, or midway through the second half, but I suppose, look, the day belongs to Laois.
It certainly does. Laois, the champions in the Premier Junior Championship, the full-time score in this Premier Junior final. Laois 2 goals and 15 points, Armagh 12 points.
Okay, thank you very much, Carl, and thank you, Aoife. Now, Glen Dimplex, player of the match, is ready with Valerie. Let's see who we've got. Over to you, Valerie.
Our Glen Dimplex player of the match is Grania Delaney, and she'll be presented her player of the match trophy by Suzanne Mooney of Glen Dimplex. Congratulations. Grania, congratulations. You're All-Ireland champions. Leisure, how are you feeling?
Absolutely delighted now. It's been a long time coming, 10 years, but delighted, thank God.
Were you able to use the pain and the hurt and the disappointment of last year to get back here and get over the line today?
Oh yeah, for sure. That was absolutely devastating last year, and we didn't want to feel the same. And it was only 1 point, so we used that as a driving force to come out here now today and put that on the show. But absolutely delighted now, thank God.
What about your own performance? An absolute dream start there in Croke Park, getting the ball in the back of the net in the first few minutes.
Well, look, I wouldn't do it with any of the other girls out there. There's 14 other people on the field and then 5 to come in off the bench. You can't do it with anybody on your own, so only for them we wouldn't be here. So
it was a tough and tight affair, and you were levels numerous times, but you did pull away in the end.
Yeah, I know. You just have to keep going and popping the pints over and just stay plugging away and fighting. No ball is a dead ball. You have to just stay going and stay going.
Well, look, congratulations and enjoy the celebrations, Grania.
Thanks a million. Thank you.
Congratulations, Grania. And Laois are Premier Junior champions for the second time, the first since 2015. Armagh have known hurt before. That's 7 final defeats from 9 efforts now. It's not easy, but only one team in that second half, Ursula, and that was Laois.
Without a doubt, Laois were just dominating all over. Obviously, Armagh got a good start after half time, but I felt that the 2 girls wing forward, Grania Delaney and Kaylee O'Keefe, their running, their support play, and ultimately their scoring efficiency was so much better in the second half, and that's what was the difference.
Okay, well, let's go back up to Cahill now for the lifting and presentation of the K-Mills Cup, and that's going back to Laois tonight, and the captain, Claudia Tynan from St. Bridget's.
Yes, Damien, this will be a sweet moment for Laois as we hear from the Camogie Association President Brian Malloy. Laois, having suffered that disappointment last year in losing to Tipperary by the narrowest of margins, have managed to bounce back, and you can see what it means there to Pat Collier and the management team as they get ready to lift the K-Mills Cup for the first time in 10 years. Winning here pretty decisively in the end after that impressive second half display. There is the K-Mills Cup, and the Laois players getting ready now to see that raised aloft by their team captain, Claudia Tynan, who had a wonderful game at centre half back, as we hear from the Camogie Association President Brian Malloy.
From Galway and his team of officials. I know it's been a very proud occasion for Enda, a referee I've had the pleasure of knowing and watching from his early days over the underage club games in Galway. Well done, Enda, and thank you very much for your work today on the pitch. To the supporters from Armagh and Laois, I thank you all for your commitment that you've shown to your county teams over the course of the year and to your club players. You as supporters are the lifeblood of the association, and your contribution is hugely appreciated. On to the activities of the pitch. It was a fantastic game of camogie. Armagh, you gave it everything you had. Unfortunately, today was not your day. Laois, you've been here on All-Ireland final day before and gone away empty-handed. That was not to be the case today. So it gives me great pleasure to present the K-Mills Cup to Claudia Tynan on behalf of the 2025 Glen Dimplex Premier Junior Camogie All-Ireland champions, Laois.
And this is the moment that Laois have been waiting for. Clodagh Tynan, the team captain from St. Bridget's, getting ready to lift the K-Mills Cup. Laois, the Premier Junior champions for 2025.
Tá is an down arm an cuireann seo ag ghlacha inniu ar san cúntaí Laoise. I cannot begin to tell you how proud I am to receive this cup on behalf of my teammates and my county. Laois is a small camogie community. We only have a few clubs and that breeds fierce rivalry. But when we come together as a county, that rivalry translates to passion, immense teamwork and a desire to win. Today we reap the rewards of that dedication and belief. Firstly, I'd like to begin by thanking the referee Enda Loughnane and his team of officials for taking charge of the match today. It's not easy being the man in the middle, but it was a job well done today. Secondly, a huge thanks to the Camogie Association for organising yet another competitive but enjoyable championship this year. Also to Crow Park for hosting a great day of camogie here today. To Armagh, we always have a right battle when we meet, and today was no different. I have every confidence that in the coming years you will be where we are today, and I wish you all the best. On behalf of the girls and myself, I have to give a massive thank you to the management team. Robert Jones, Pat Collier, Kevin Galvin and Lenora Lyons, as their knowledge and commitment has guided us and got us up these steps today. Behind them is a dressing room full of great people. Our physio Alan Corboy, goalkeeping coach Owen Fleming, S&C Joe Smith, our water boys Niall Cuddy and Stephen Delaney, our FLO Niamh Dollard and our very own photographer Pascal Walsh. We greatly appreciate everything you do for us. All Irelands are not just won on the field. So a special thanks also goes to our county board, led by our chairman Paddy Dwyer, for all their support. For all their support and faith over the couple of years. To our main sponsors, Aylworth Heavy Haulage and Hanlon's Kitchens, and to all those who contributed, we thank you for your support. To our families, friends, partners, work colleagues and supporters, thank you all so much for following us around the county, roaring encouragement and making us believe that we could get here. We are delighted to share this win with you all. To those who we sadly lost during the year, who are looking down on their loved ones in a special way today, I hope we did you proud. And lastly, to the women of the hour. It took an immense amount of work to get here, but no better bunch of women to get it done. I'm also so grateful to get to represent a team of such talented and supportive individuals. The losses of last year were difficult to take, but this win is a testament to the resilience, hard work and dedication shown by every single one of you. We turned it around and always believed that we could do it, and now here we are. Laois Shaboo.
Okay, Laois, deserved winners of the All-Ireland Junior Championship title. 19 goals in 6 games. And that speaks for itself, really, doesn't it? Like, heartbreaking last year's final. Probably felt they were the better team, but they got it right this time around.
Yeah, and at half-time, it really was anyone's final. But I think, like what you mentioned there, and in the last 11 league and championship games, Laois were averaging 314. So that's 17 scores. Today they got 215, again 17 scores. So it just shows when a team can compose themselves at half-time and come out. Even though Armagh started out really strong with 2 brilliant scores, then it became Laois. And I think one of the things for me, I talked about at half-time about how it took Laois so long between their scores. But in this time round, it was 23 minutes of a gap in the middle of that second half for Armagh to get a score, and Laois got 1-6 during that time. So I mean, that really was a huge difference.
Well, Oasis are here next weekend. There won't be as much noise as there is now. So down to you, Valerie, because Valerie's with the winning Laois manager, Pat Collier.
Yeah, I'm joined by Pat and Rob, of course, the two of them. First of all, Pat, congratulations, All-Ireland champions. How are you after that?
It's marvellous. Look, I'm speechless really. Last year here was heartbreaking, a 1-point defeat. Played so well, but I think in the second half there we showed what we could do, and we were very clinical up front. Last year, me and Rob, we were hard on the forward line after the game. You know, we worked hard on it this year, and it's brilliant to see him playing like that today here. Brilliant.
Rob, there was a few missed opportunities, maybe a slight bit of worry going in at half-time, but the second half you were much, much better.
Yeah, at the start of the first half, look, we were getting the opportunities. Some of them went to miss, but we were still happy at half-time because we were creating them opportunities. And look, when we came out in the second half, them Laois girls showed their class. You know, our substitutions we made as well, bringing on Amy Daly, a crucial goal at a crucial time. So look, at huge working commitments after going in with these girls, and thank God it's after paying off today.
Pat, I was watching you on the sideline, maybe at some stages of the game, you did look a slight bit under pressure, but you enjoyed the last few moments.
No, we enjoyed it. Look, me and Rob, we have our own way. We're maybe a good mix. You know, Rob might be calmer than me at times, and it can be vice versa. But look, it was just about this group of special ladies, and it was a privilege for me and him to be in charge. Privilege.
Heartbreak last year, the pain, the hurt, you can really see it drove you on this year.
Yeah, look, this place is not a nice place to be when you get Ben and All-Ireland final, and what a difference a year makes, like, you know, so we're going to really enjoy this one.
Enjoy the celebrations, lad. Thanks for chatting to me.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Yeah, Rob Jones there, and Pat Collier as well, and Leading Sea Fennel is here with us. We spoke to you last year, all the hurt and the heartbreak of all that. It's got to be huge congratulations to you. That second half, unbelievable.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I think at half-time, we knew it was going to be a tough game going in. Any game that we played throughout the year, and even last year in league final, we played them in league, we bet them, but then league final last year they bet us. So it was always touch and go, but we knew this was going to be a tough match, and the first half showed that. And we just kind of settled our nerves a little bit more in the second half, and when that second goal came in, kind of went a little bit ahead, but we knew that wasn't over. So,
do you know, a lot of people talk about halftime team talks and what players and management talk about halftime. You came out almost like a different team in the second half. Like, can you let us know what was said?
Well, to be fair, like, the girls, we just did it for the girls. You know, one of the girls specifically said, she was like, just look into each other's eyes and be like, you go out there, you kill for each other. Don't do an individual team. You go out there, play as a team, play for each other, and just give it socks.
And do you think the hurt of losing last year's final was a big motivation this year to kind of right those wrongs?
Oh, so like, this time last year, we had tears in our eyes for the other reason, and none of us wanted that again. And we just knew how that felt, so that kind of gave us that extra push.
What
just
a
to push
difference
over.
a year can make.
I know, yeah.
You scored
exactly.
110 in the second half, lead on, but you kept Armagh scoreless for 20 minutes. Your backs really, I think, you know, come out and perform so well in the second half. I know your forwards will get the awards as always because you know, they're the scorers on the board, but I think your backs were so solid in that second half.
Oh, the backs played they were very solid now. Even in the first half, they were kind of kept us grounded. But sure, we had Cra, who was actually here 10 years ago, and she won 2015. So we had she had the experience, we had her, and then Clodagh was super as a captain and Laura.
Half your family are Culletons, half your family are Fennels. Your brothers, Rory, Fikra, Call, they've played hurling and football for Laois.
Yeah.
Just with small community and with the 6 clubs now playing senior camogie in Laois, when you lost last year, were those people all there, your family, your friends, your clubmates, to try and repair the wounds and get you motivated again for this season, Leading?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Sure, again, like we went back again. We didn't want to lose again, so that kind of brought us back again, because we were so close, and to have the support there last year, this year, just kind of kept us pushing forward, and it can really show out there that that's what kept us going.
Go and enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you very
well
much.
deserved.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Midfield dynamo there, Leading Sea Fennel, and her proud family will be looking on here. So will Laois too, but that second half burst, Ursula. Like, they had goal chances, crucial times, and Armagh had no response to them. Can you just talk me through that little purple patch that
Yeah,
Laois
they
had?
definitely got a period of dominance, and they scored 1-6 to no score for Armagh, but they just seemed to get on top in that half forward line, and they were piling on the pressure on the Armagh attack. You know, Amy Collier, who had been one of their standout performers up to the final, she works really, really hard, almost gets in for a goal herself, and Lucy Conroy, you know, chips in with a great score, and the impact off the bench will be really pleasing for Laois today. You know, our player of the match, Grania Delaney, was everywhere. She covered every blade of the grass in the second half in particular, and she gets she scored a goal in the first half, but does brilliantly here. I love that she doesn't take the easy option. She takes on the heart of the defence, pops it off, and what a score, what a goal from Amy Daly, and that really set Laois on her way. But look at the pace of Grania here. She takes on the player, times it brilliantly, and pops it off to Amy, and that was ultimately
that was the winning of the game, right?
It was, and it put breathing space between the two teams.
They had a huge amount of scorers from play as well, Damien. They had 8 scorers from play throughout the game, and you know, there was girls put up their hand, but I think it was the goal that gave them the confidence. You could nearly see them growing in stature once they got that goal. There was more girls standing up, and the belief and confidence just came.
But if as Leodon said there, if they're standing in the dressing room half time saying we're doing it for each other, to me that was really reflected in their play. But it was very supportive, Damien. Like, there was always a player in the first half. We were kind of saying, where's the support runner? They always had a support player. They always had somebody that was there to help him in a tackle. So it really was a team effort. It really was. And I think, like, if they were saying that in half time, no wonder then they came out in the second half
because
played
they
like
gave them
that.
better options with the support runners off the shoulder. One player that really put down a marker from the start of the game was Grania Delaney, Ursula. And I mean, any major final, when you get a score like that in the first moment, you look back on it as a key moment. Would you agree with her performance today?
Yeah, it was a real brave, opportunistic goal in the first half that, you know, we saw the space that they were trying to create, and we knew there was that goal threat there. But again, as we mentioned at half time, it was how she timed her run off the shoulder. And again, didn't take the easy option. She takes on the heart of the defence. And what a strike. Like, that was a brilliant strike off her left-hand side. And she got 2 super points from play as well. Again, the confidence, you know, to shoot from distance out on the wing off her left-hand side. For a young player, like, that's top class.
She didn't just score though, Ursula. She was involved in so much of the play. She won frees, she laid off passes. She was involved in a huge amount of play throughout the game, not just in the second half.
Yeah.
You know, she was involved right throughout the game.
Superb score there. Like, and I think Ursula's right. Like, in the opening minutes of any All-Ireland final, often you're just trying to get to grips with the game, do the simple things right. So she could have just turned and put the ball over the bar, but to have the confidence in herself, I mean, it's almost like she had been visualising that before and going, if I get this chance, I might get another one, so I'm going to bury it, and that's what she did.
That's what she did, and the K Mills Cup goes back to Laois for the first time since 2015. The drama continues after a break with the All-Ireland Intermediate Final between Kerry and Offaly. That should be a cracker. Stay with us.
One, two, three.